Morning, cheers, we did it. First day of the launch. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. Thank you for just what was it? I feel like it was 2 weeks that we did the morning meditations where we just I was able to just take you into my process. And if you're new this morning, welcome. My name is Tibbetts. I'm a serial entrepreneur. This is the journey of Mela Lifestyle, and it really started with 2 weeks into me launching my website. And I had this thought of really taking everyone behind the curtain and revealing the process of a launch and revealing the process of a founder doing all the things, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. So over these past 2 weeks, we've really created this community where every morning we come together and we do a meditation. I take you behind the madness of the steps to my launch. And if you're just joining us, the launch happened yesterday. And then we do a quick meditation and we go forward with our day. So we did it. I feel like we did it because initially I was very afraid to kind of reveal and be transparent around what this process was like, but I really wanted people to see it because everyone sees the founder when they're on the mountain. Everyone sees the founder when they're on the cover of Inc. magazine, when they're on the dais. And for me, it's just hey, this is what it looks like. It gets dirty and it's messy and emotions come up and you have miscommunication. And you know what? All those things happen, and guess what? The website still launched, and it was still amazing. And you guys supported more than anything. You supported me, but you supported through your orders. Thank you for the feedback of wanting to continue these morning meditations because I look forward to them just like you. This morning, I had to go out and ship some orders. But I'm back because all I looked forward to was coming back and sitting with you. And I just want to tell you that feelings aren't facts. It was crazy, right? Because if you saw my live yesterday or if you saw my story yesterday, I was really in it. Really in it with life stuff. And that's what happens sometimes, right? We can have these public moments and these personal trials, and we have to really be careful as leaders. And when I say a leader, I'm not just referring to if you run the organization. I'm saying a leader in your family, a leader with your cohort, a leader on your team, whatever that looks like. We have to be really careful that dynamic is going to happen sometime, and we have to live in the tension of my personal life may look one way and my professional life may look another way. And that's the sacrifice of it all, right? That, you may see people where they have so much prosperity and success in their professional life and they're going through it in their personal. Or you may see someone whose personal life may look a certain way, but they continue to miss the mark professionally. And that's what's going to happen, right? Because we're all gifted in some way, but we have to remember that it's a gift. So if you're gifted because you're an amazing singer, if you're gifted because you're an amazing speaker, that's a gift. Probably without trying, you're pretty fabulous at what you do. And that's true, but we always have to make sure that our gifting matches our character. And that's the part that's always a dance, and it doesn't always look perfect, and it doesn't always have to be perfect. So I would say yesterday was a challenging morning to me in terms of my personal. And, truth be told, midday, I was in my feelings. I was just having a moment. And all of a sudden an order came in and I was like, what the what? I was like, oh, I gotta, and in that moment, right? In that moment, now you're in the arena, right? Now you're in the arena and you're like, I gotta put my feelings over here because I got to make this order happen. And I just went into what I knew all along. And it's amazing how in my past business, I had my hands on so many areas of the business. So with Mela Lifestyle, I was able just to get back in line, process the order, fulfill the order, pack the order. Why do I have on a t-shirt today? It's not very glam because I'm warehouse and facility manager, all the things. So thank you for just your feedback and just the launch happened. And it's great, but the launch still continues, right? The launch just doesn't happen when the website's up, right? It's my grandma used to say, pretty is as pretty does. We just don't want it to be pretty we just don't want it to be pretty on the outside. Fellas, you met some women where they were really pretty on the outside and inside they were just ugly. Like, we don't want that, right? We don't want a website that's just pretty. We want a website that behind the scenes is functional as well. And so that takes some time, and that takes some patience, and that's what I get to work out with these orders, and really in preparation for Cyber Monday. So you always think, like, my end goal was always like to have the website just all the kinks worked out by Cyber Monday, but we get to kind of work them out now. So I want to honor your time, because not everyone has our day to be looking at me and talking. So 2 meditations today. So our 2 meditations for today are division. What will you do with your remainder? Okay. And one of my favorite artists is Division. And you know how people always say, don't at me, Division, at me. Like, I love, like, they're one of my favorite R&B artists. So, but I digress. So Division, what will you do with your remainder? And our second meditation is the offer. And so when I was thinking about this yesterday in terms of division, because I'm not a mental math person, and I still kind of, like, I'll be thinking about something, and I'll still kind of like count on my fingers. And I was talking to someone, they're like, "Did you just use your fingers?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, I just use my fingers. Like, I gotta get the number right." So I was thinking about division, I was thinking about math, and I was thinking about the remainder. And I shared a lot. I always will share a lot and come to you about my life. And a lot of the challenge that I had yesterday was like, really me looking at the remainder and probably having some sacrificial moments and being sad about it, but turning that into like a sweet reward for what I can do in my new business. And so for me, I talked about a lot about how I was married for 20 years. I had this business, I had this life, and then there was a division, right? So if you think about a division, you think about a division of assets, a division in a relationship. A lot of you may have had a division from your company. There's a lot of division in our country, right? However you want to describe it. Like, when we think of division, it's not just like a math problem. And so, but when we were in primary school and we had that division, there are times there was a remainder, right? And then you would be like, remainder 2, remainder 4, right? And so my meditation for you today is like, what will you do with your remainder? So I looked up the definition of division, and it's the amount left over after performing some computation, right? And so for me in my life, I saw that as, I have some remainders left over, right? And I have to look at like, what am I gonna do with my remainder? Like, yes, professionally, I get to like take my remainder and launch this great website, but I also have the remainder of my emotions, right? The remainder of my processing, the remainder of maybe like coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? And so today I would just encourage you to really look at, what are you gonna do with your leftover? Like, what will you do with your remainder? What will you do with your remainder of 2020, right? Because we started out the year, we all have declarations, we have resolutions, and life happens and change happens, and that's normal, and we've all experienced it. But in this moment today, what are we going to do with our remainder of the year? What are you going to do with your leftover of the year? How are you going to finish strong in your year? And only you can answer that for you, because this is about what's in your hands. Like, what have you been left over with? And we can choose 1 or 2 courses. We can stay in the valley and just kind of feel our feelings and like let that just wear our feelings like a coat, or we can take that trek up to the mountain. Remember, we talked about that on one of our meditations about what are you carrying and what are you going to carry up to the mountain. So look at today, like, what's your leftover, what's your remainder, and what are you going to do with that? And the second part is like the offer, right? So 2 meditations today, division, what are you going to do with your remainder, and the offer. And I think about that because at the end of the day, we want to monetize this website. Like I said, I'm a beauty on a budget. Like, this is an expensive city. I got to sell these products. And I could like come out the gate and like, this is my offer. Like, this is the sale. Like this is how you close them. Like, we all know how to do that. If you don't, like, we definitely can have a meditation around that. But the offer is so much bigger. And I talked about that yesterday when I shared my heart for Mela Lifestyle. Like, for me, the offer is not just the product. Like, definitely I'll show you guys the curated products, the founders, like the items that I just am really passionate about. And I can give you the offer of the product, but I want to know like what's the bigger offer for you? Like what's your offer, right? Like what are you bringing to the table? Like if I met you, or if you're dating, or if you're a creative and you're pitching an idea, or you're putting your deck together, like what's your offer? Like what is that is reflection of who you are, right? So and the leftover and the offer can actually be the same thing. The leftover can be turned into a very powerful offering. That leftover can be turned into a very sacred offering where you can pour out and say, this is who I am, right? And that's what we're doing at Mela Lifestyle. That this is not just a lifestyle. Like I really believe that we're creating a community and a movement of people who are saying, this is who I am in the world, but also if you get to come into my private moments, I'm that same person, right? There's no compartmentalizing. There's no, he or she is one way here and they're another way there. And so that leftover that you've really looked at, that remainder that you've really looked at, you can turn that into a very powerful offer. You can turn that into a very powerful close. You can turn that into a very powerful invitation, right? Because if you think about it, we're always inviting people in, and we can invite people in verbally with what we say. We can invite people in with what we do, and we can invite people in with who we are, right? And so at Mela Lifestyle, this is what we're doing. We're saying we're creating a community of people that are really choosing to live their life from a place of transparency, from a place of wholeness, that are coming to the table with an offer of this is how they invite you in. This is how they show their love, their honor, their acknowledgement of you. Because for me, and I would hope for our community, that this is not just who we are, this is how we live, and the two are the same. So thank you for joining me this morning on the Journey to Mela Lifestyle. Remember, our 2 meditations today are 1, division, what will you do with your remainder? And the second meditation is the offer, and let that be a reflection of who you are. So the website is live. You guys go to it. It's melalifestyle.com. So it's MELA lifestyle.com. Definitely continue sending your feedback. Thank you for the orders. Thank you for the encouragement. I love that we get to come together every morning and do this. Like I definitely heard the direct messages and the notes and all the comments that were like, let's continue to go, let's do this. And remember, it's not just me showing up, like you're showing up too, right? And we get to do this together. We get to live in the tension, and we can continue and finish the remainder of 2020 strong. So again, thank you for joining me, and ciao for now. Bye.